beers, Corona has bottled its Corona Extra in large, quart-sized family bottles dubbed as Corona Familiar. However, the company recently released the Corona Familiar in 12-ounce bottle form. While the beer is the same as that found in Corona Extra, does this brown glass make it any more enjoyable? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews. What up, guys? Yeah, today we have Corona Familiar, or however you say it. I know I said it wrong, but we'll crack this open, and while I crack it open, I'll just get the housekeeping underway. If you want to check out our podcast, that'd be great. It's Two Dudes in a Six Pack. If you want to check out the website, twodudesinaSixpack.com. You can find all of our good stuff there, and if you want to check out my book, that'd be cool too. There's a link in the description and all that good stuff. But anyways, into the beer. The down low for this beer is it's actually just a regular Corona, essentially in a glass bottle. It just happens that the only way you used to get this kind of Corona was in the big, basically family-sized jug. Thus the name, family. And they've now repackaged it into I think this is like 11.2 volume, size, doesn't really say, but for anybody that's been looking for a Corona bottle that's not clear, so you might lose some of the skunkiness to it, there you go. But it doesn't actually say on the Corona website if this is actually the exact same thing. That's just the information I've gathered, so I wouldn't take what I'm saying as the gospel, but I'm pretty positive that's basically what it is. Especially that the Corona Premier, that's the one getting all the tout saying it's the first new Corona in like 30 years. If that's the case, then this has obviously already been around for a while and thus not new. But I don't know, whatever. Let's get into the smell. You do have a bit of a corn lemon zest thing going on. A bit of a wet grain, but not terrible. It's not super heavy wet grain, but it's a little bit there. So my dogs are eating and drinking in the other room. It distracted me for a second. I don't know if I'm getting a hint of almost a hint of apricot in there somewhere. I'm not saying that, they definitely didn't make it with that, but I feel like there is a subtle kind of fruit in there, but it's not just all citrus. I don't know if your grandparents were like mine growing up, but they always had like dishes of candy around the house when you go visit. Of course, that's the difference between that generation and this generation. I couldn't have dishes of candy around because I'd eat the whole dish in one sitting. But so yeah, they'd have just random dishes of M&Ms, those little red hot dots, and who knows what else. And they'd also sometimes have like the dried out apricot slices. I don't know why they had those. Maybe they knew we wouldn't eat them all at once. But so sometimes I'll pick up that kind of aroma. Nothing like a beer bringing up memories of your childhood. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not like a dank aroma. It's not super wet grain. It doesn't smell skunk. So for the most part, I think it's okay. So I'll recommend it on the smell. But all right, let's get into the taste. It's I feel like it's lacking something. I want something more, and it's not there. You have a little, almost like a subtle hint of bitterness at the tip of your tongue, and then it gets like instantly just watery. And as that kind of water thing passes through, you do have a little hint of maybe like a light corn, lemon zest, but very, very subtle. It's more, something touches your tongue and then it gets scared and kind of, you know, falls back into just kind of waterland. I mean, there is, yeah, a hint of grain. No skunk to it, which is good. I don't know if the bottle is doing that at all. To be fair, at least with Coronas, even though they're super crystal clear glasses, they don't sit around for very long. They sell pretty quickly. And I will give props to this, along as all other Corona bottles, is I always love the hand-painted labeling. I think it's fantastic. This is very kind of similar to a Victoria. Victoria's a little more bright and pronounced, but something about the Mexican labels that are painted on. You can say what you will about Mexican beers, maybe you love them, maybe you hate them, but they have probably the best bottle presentation, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, just a little grainy, a very hint of lemon zest, almost like you're just licking the outside of a lemon. And there's not a whole lot. There might be a little bit of that kind of corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup going on in there a little bit. Of course, now that beer companies have to say when they're using that, at least in the United States, it's like I would have even never thought that beers were doing that until like somebody brought it to my attention, and then I saw it as an ingredient in a lot of different beers. And then once you kind of realize that they're putting it into different beers, they start to kind of become a little more, okay, yeah, I can taste that. That's kind of a bummer, but I don't know. I'm starting to get more and more of that just wet cereal and a little bit of bitterness to it. It's not that great. I'm not going to recommend it on the taste. It's not my favorite. The more I kind of dive into it, the more I'm kind of like, less and less. If I didn't think about it, it might be a different story. But for this, I'll pass on the taste. Our next category is value for price, and pretty much any Mexican beer is going to be a decent value. You're not paying a lot for it, especially for an import. You're getting, I mean, they're probably the cheapest import beer you're going to get that's actually made in the other country. There's a lot of other beers, Foster's and those kind of things are actually made in the States, but they say they're made someplace else. So, yes, I will recommend it for value for price. Okay, next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And not really. I should probably do a video of comparing this with Corona Extra in a glass, in a clear glass, and a Corona Extra in a can, and see which one kind of fares the best. But there's not a whole lot. There's nothing really super special about this beer. It is what it is, and so I will not recommend it on distinction. Next category is drinkability, and it's fine. I feel like, it's starting to warm up, and it's just not doing it for my taste buds. I feel like I'd start to slow down, and I don't know. And I don't think there's a big alcohol by volume difference between a Corona and a Corona Light. At that moment, if you're gonna have water with a little bit of wet bread versus basically just water, and the alcohol content is different by like 0.3, I'd probably just go with the water. It'd be easier to drink. I wouldn't have to deal with some of the less than desirable flavors. So I'm gonna give this a half for drinkability. It's okay, but it could be better. It could be worse too. So I'll give it a half. Excuse me. Last category is would I buy it again? And no, not really. I have no need to do this as other Mexican beers I'd much rather have. It's just, I wouldn't go to it as far as saying it's a gimmick, but basically it's just a Corona with a dark label. I mean, if you label it as a different beer, so I mean, that's teetering on gimmick when you're marketing it as a second beer when it's not. But yeah, I have no need to buy it again, so I will not be buying it again. But alright, that is my review of Corona Familiar. What do you think? Have you had it? Do you think it tastes like different from a regular Corona Extra or whatever the other Corona? I'm drawing a blank. Whatever the other Corona is, does you think it tastes that much different? If you do you prefer this better than the other Corona? Or maybe you like the regular Corona can. Maybe you find that that's just great, and you can drink on the beach easier with the can versus the glass bottle. But anyways, yeah, let me know if you could like and subscribe. That'd be great. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. I have not had my morning coffee yet. Yes, I'm doing this in the morning. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, but I'll be drinking the coffee after this. So maybe I got a little back. I didn't want the coffee to like screw up my taste buds, so I just floated a little. Anyways, that is the review. Yeah, like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. And for now, for myself and Corona Familiar, take it easy.